There isn't a kinder way to say this. Stop trying to do everything. Trying to do everything is probably the reason why you are exhausted. Stay with me for just about 5 minutes because this is a lesson that I learned the hard way. And you, yes, yeah, I'm talking to you. Didn't I just say give me 5 minutes? Sit down. I don't understand why you're multitasking already. Seriously, I think you're going to see yourself in this story. Most mornings, it feels like your brain never stopped working. You're thinking about everything you need to do, even before you get out of bed. And you're mentally exhausted, and your day hasn't even started yet. So I would start my day with this very long to do list, expecting to get everything done. Looking back, the problem wasn't the list, at least for me, it wasn't. It was that I was expecting to get everything done with no interruptions. None. So all the things on my list would magically get done because nothing was going to interrupt my perfect day. But that was never the case. And at the end of the day, I'll get into bed exhausted and ask myself this question: why can't I get everything done? It sincerely baffled me. Then the turning point came when I started working this new job and I was on a new project. And during a meeting, a coworker was asked to give an update on what they were assigned to do. And they said, "I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to get to it." Shut up. What? I'm like, you can just say that? And my manager said, "No problem. Give us an update at the next meeting." And you see my reaction? Literally what it was like, but I was so happy I was not on camera because I'm sure the people would have been looking at me like, what exactly is her problem? For context, the coworker was not a lazy person. Everybody on the team worked their tushes off, which for me was also an incredible blessing. So what fascinated me is that nobody pretended that they were able to get everything done. There was just no making up stories, no lying. It was just simply honesty. And that changed a lot for me. And that's when I realized that the pressure to get everything done really was coming from me. Somewhere along the way, I convinced myself that successful people got everything done. Turns out, they don't. The biggest challenge for me was asking a different question. Instead of typically asking, how do I get everything done today? I would instead ask myself, what's the most important thing I can do today? Those two questions create two different days. One leads to unnecessary pressure, while the other one helps you decide what matters. And oddly enough, nursing school taught me this years ago. I just never realized that it applied to regular life. So typically, during exams, we'll be asked this question: what's the priority? So basically, pick the most important thing for you to do first. I hated those questions. Because, of course, in nursing school style, all the possible answers were things that you would want to do first. It's like every time I would see that question, I'm like, everything. Why, how can I just pick one? But what we were being taught at the time was deciding on what is most important out of the options you have, because that one thing is what could have the most impact on your patient's life, on the outcome of their life. And life pretty much works the same way. You know, every day so many things are pulling for your attention. If you're in these adulting streets, you know what I'm talking about. We need to start deciding, not allowing. We need to decide what is the first thing we're going to do in any given day. What's more important? It can't be everything, and it cannot be scrolling on social media. Okay, I had to get that out there. But only a few things deserve our attention first in any given day. Unfortunately, we don't stop long enough to decide on what those things are. We don't give ourselves time to do that. Instead, we're either wasting time on things that bring no value at all, or we just jump from task to task to task, starting so many things, not finishing anything, feeling really overwhelmed and scattered, and adding unnecessary pressure to our life. And then we start to think that staying busy means that we are making progress. It doesn't. If you've been carrying around this never ending mental list, if you've been ending your days feeling guilty because you didn't get everything done, I want you to stop measuring your day by how much you did. Instead, Measure it by whether you completed what mattered most. Because the goal isn't to do everything, the goal is to make meaningful progress. And those are not the same thing. In my next video, I want to talk about something that sounds simple but is actually harder than most people realize. How do you decide what's actually important? And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kim, and I would love for you to join this Fab Fam by subscribing. I also have a newsletter, it's bi weekly and free, and the link is in the description. And if no one has told you this today, you're valuable, you have purpose, you're more than enough, and you are fabulous. Until my next video, I'd love for you to watch the one that pops up because I know you're going to like it. I'll see you all next week. Bye, everyone.